Well, welcome back to Sportsworld. Now, when it comes to golf, there's no country as crazy about the game as Sweden. It's surprising when you think that it was only 30 years ago that the Swedes really began taking to the game. Before that, it was seen as an elitist sport until one man's passion for the game changed his countrymen into a nation of swingers, as Joanna Gosharovska found out when she met Sweden's Mr. Golf.
Sweden, a country that's given the world IKEA, saunas and some of the best golfers in the world. On both sides of the Atlantic, Swedish players regularly grace the top of the leaderboards, but it wasn't always so. Before Annika Sorenstam and Jesper Parnevik, there was just one man, his name, Sven Tumba.
Okay, huh? That close? That.
His passion for the game so infectious, it's credited as one of the reasons why Sweden dominates golf today.
Well, he is pretty much Mr. Golf in Sweden. He would be the equivalent of Arnold Palmer.
He was so well known. Everyone in Sweden knows Sven Tumba. So he was very popular.
He's a really big name in Sweden, and he's a great character as well. And he's meant a lot for Swedish golf also, so he's just a great man.
Sven Tumba first became a household name in Sweden as an ice hockey player in the 1950s, leading the national team to 3 World Championship titles and 2 Olympic medals. He kept himself busy off the ice too, inventing the plastic hockey helmet and mouthguard, which are still used by players today. At the same time, Sven was also representing Sweden in both football and water skiing. But it wasn't until he retired from ice hockey in his 30s that he found the game of golf.
I said to myself, when you finish your career, this tough sports, you have to do something. I mean, you cannot sit on the bench and watching them play, you have to do something. Then I started playing golf, So I hit on the par 3 holes, my first shot on the green. I could never believe it, It came on the green, and then I putted past, long way past, and made a par. Even made a par in my first. I said, this is a great game. I'm going to love it, And if I love it, the Swedish people, they understand me, Like if the Sven Tumba is doing it, he's crazy enough. If he likes it, we're going to like it too,
He was right. Tumba quickly turned his newly found love of the game into a profession. But this time he was keen to share the sport with his fellow Swedes, encouraging stars from the American tour to come to Scandinavia and play for the crowds.
I started to get Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Tony Jackson. I got all the guys, come Sam Snead. I played with him here in Sweden and introduced them to show the Swedish people, look, this is a sport. It's a fantastic sport for people. Look at hits the ball 250 meters. You cannot believe it, and they love the whole concept. This is something people. Oh, can a human being, this tall, hit the ball that far? I mean, it's in the blood. It gets in the blood and it gets in the blood, and they're stuck.
Tumba's excitement for the game was infectious, with thousands of Swedes taking up golf in the 1970s and 80s. Following in the footsteps of the man they knew as a sporting icon.
Look at that, you hit it good hit.
His efforts back then even recognised today by one man who has himself become a golfing legend.
Sweden wasn't golf-centric in those days, but Sven Tumba went in there, built a golf course, and he brought golf to Sweden, and look how many Swedish players playing on the European Tour and the US Tour right now. 30, 35? All because of one man. And that one man had the guts and the foresight to be able to go there and do that.
That time, Tumba was also working with the Swedish Golf Association, building a junior program. One of the first youngsters to benefit from his experience went on to win 9 PGA and European Tour titles.
He always been an icon among all the Swedes. So when he started playing golf, that's pretty much when everybody in Sweden wanted to try golf out, and that's where we saw the big golf boom in the mid-80s. We got my dad involved into golf, so myself and Sven Tumba's son Johan, we played a lot of golf together growing up, so that's how I got started. So in one way, it's because of him that I'm playing today.
But not content with just playing the game, Tumba turned his attention to course building. Alna Golf Club, his first course just outside Stockholm, is still held up as one of the finest in Sweden today.
See, when I see the nature, and I know that you have a ball, you know, I can see golf course wherever I am, you know. I have to do it. I have to, because it's so nice. Water here, you see this island here, you know, I love to do it, you know. But this is made by hand, no drawings.
No drawings?
No, not that one. I took a machine, I was with a machine all the time. Do this, don't cut that tree over there, now dig here.
So that's the Sven Tumba way of making a golf course?
Yeah.
Tumba also used his ice hockey fame to literally break new ground in Russia, building the first golf course in the communist bloc, even using his friendship with the great Brazilian footballer Pelé to promote his new venture.
Opened a golf course in Moscow, you know, when it was the Soviet Union at that time. Gorbachev gave me the permission to make the first golf course on a dump area, you know, you couldn't believe it. No one would touch it, could not walk on it. That is inspiring me, you know, it makes me feel satisfied and I like it. But I said, when I did it in Moscow, I said to them, I do it only if you let the kids come in.
Children have always played a big part in Tumba's life, and when he found himself in a South African hospital after breaking his leg on safari, he witnessed the poverty of those growing up in the country and embarked on what is perhaps his biggest venture to date.
To put it this way, sport has given me so many things, you know. I have fun. No one has had so much fun in different ways like me, you know, and that's important. So I will give something back. I mean, I'm now pretty old, you know. I'm not telling you how, but I'm 76. Okay, so I think I can do something. I could do something for especially children. I like children. So I started a foundation to avoid children to grow up illiterate.
The Sven Tumba Education Fund aims to improve overstretched schools in Africa by using sport to help teach them how to read and write. It also encourages children to mentor each other.
If they cannot read, how can then a child, deal with AIDS and crime when they cannot even read? I mean, it's very important to do this.
The charity has the backing of the United Nations, as well as pharmaceutical company AstraZeneca. And with South Africa hosting the Football World Cup in 2010, Sven has made sure that some of the sport's biggest names are also getting involved.
If you are in the neighborhood of Sven Tumba, then you get involved in whatever project it is. Now, to be more serious, he came back to me after having paid a visit to Africa, and he was touched about the situation there. And he had ideas about how to possibly solve this, to take them away from the streets and the drugs and the criminality and the AIDS. And I bought that idea.
There's no doubt that Sven Tumba has achieved a huge amount in his time, from Olympic glory on the ice to turning his fellow Swedes into a nation of golfers. And there's no sign of him retiring from the limelight anytime soon.
So the children should have a childhood. They have to have the same as you and me, you know, and all of us. We had a good start in life. So this is what I'm going to fight for, you know, in the next 25 years.
With such enthusiasm for changing lives, who knows what this inspirational sporting icon will do next?
Simple putt!
Joanna Gajarowska, Al Jazeera, Sweden.
Well, don't forget to check out our website, aljazeera.net/English, where you can find all the latest sports news and watch any of our Sportsworld stories again. And let us know what you think of the show. Well, that's it for this edition of Sportsworld. I'm Rahul Pathak. You're watching Al Jazeera.